So now we're going to be discussing about the third module, branching. So we're going to start with the practicum aim first. First, understand the form of branching. Second, make a simple program using branching sort. Third, solve a case regarding branching sort and implement it in the C language. So basically, Boolean operations are logical operations that only return true or false. This operation will often be used to determine the action to be carried out by the program in branching or repetition. Here we have the operator Boolean. Example, A is equal to B, means the condition will be true if the value of A is equal to the value of B. A is less than B means the condition will be true if the value of A is less than the value of B. A is less than equal to B means the condition will be true if the value of A is less than equal to the value of B. A is more than B means the condition will be true if the value of A is more than the value of B. A is more than equal to B means the value will be true if the value of A is more than equal to the value of B. A is exclamation mark equal to B means the value of A will be true if the value of A is not the same as the value of B. Here we have A and B, A or B, and A, X or B. The condition of A and B will be true if the value of A and B are both true. And then the condition of A or B will be true if the value of A is false and the value of B is true, or the other way around, or the value of the values of A and B are both true. Then the condition of A, X, or B will be true if the value of A is false and the value of B is true, or the other way around. The operator of AND on C is double AND. The operator not on C is exclamation mark. The operator of OR on C is double vertical bars. The operator of XOR on C is caret. Here we have the example of the program. So here, as you can see, if the condition of if is true, means the action in the body of if will be executed. But if the condition of if is false, so the action will move to else if and check the condition of else if. If the condition of else if is true, means the action in the body of else if will be executed. But otherwise, if the condition of else if is false, then the action of else will be performed.
If branching. The if branching is a branching that only has one option block when the condition evaluates to true. This is an example of the coding of the if branching. If we enter a GPA of more than 2, it will output congratulations you passed. If we enter a GPA of more than 3.5, it will output congratulations you passed and cum laude. And if we enter the GPA less than 2, it will output sorry you didn't pass. This is the result of running the code.
Now we will be getting into if if said condition is true, then do this action, else do this action. Now, what does that mean? If we see this box above, uh, we have two actions in which uh, the first code will run if the condition is true, and the other one will be run if the condition is false. As we can see, if the condition is true, the else line of code will be skipped or not executed, and vice versa. Uh, if you still don't understand, this is an example that you can follow. This code is in the module, so you can just copy it and put it on your IDE just to follow along. In this, uh, we have a score that we can put in the code, and then the code will check the condition if you passed or not. As we can see, if the score that we put in is above 75, then the result will be passed, and if not, then the result is going to be not passed. Now, if you notice, there is a, a new uh, type of code that we see, which is type def. Now, uh, I will explain it later on the later slide. For now, we'll, let's go to the next slide. Now, what is type def? Type def is one of the methods in writing a struct type. It also serves as the creation of an alias name for the specified data type, usually used with structures to simplify the syntax of declaring the type. Now, what does that mean? That means that you can simplify a struct when you're about to call the struct. For example, we have type def grade. Now, if you were to call it a normal way using struct grade, then if we were to use struct grade instead of type def, then in the bottom, in the int.main, we have to put struct space data space p1. But because we use type def, we we, we didn't need to put the struct in, so we can just use data space p1. It definitely helps when you're about to write a bigger code, a longer code. So it is a nice quality of life. Now, okay. In the previous section, we learned that you can do two actions. An action if the condition is fulfilled, and the action if the condition is not fulfilled or false. Now, what if we want to use three action, four action? And this is where the else if syntax comes to play. Now we will be going into the next slide. If you can see the box above, we can see that if condition is true, run the code. But and on the middle one, you can see else if. Now, what is else if? Else if is a syntax used as a more action. You know, a second condition, a third condition, or a fourth condition, and so on. You can use else uh, if our program needs a lot of action. For example, if we were to use a main menu, we can use if you pick this, do this. If you pick this, do this. Else, do this. Now there is no limit on how many you can use else if, so just use it to your heart's content. And until the condition is true, the following line of code will be executed. Now this is an example from the module. It it's really long, so you can just try it for yourself to see what kind of code that is. If you can see at a glance, the code is, if we go to the next slide, the program above or the before slide will display the output login success if the username and password entered match those in the program line above, namely flowchart and cache or programming and cache. Now, if we go back to the code, this code will check if the user puts the right username and password, which is flowchart and cache, pemrograman and cache. Now, if we can see it again, we'll have an alien kind of syntax, which is string copy or strcpy. Now, what is the function of strcpy? We can go to the next slide first. In the string copy, which has two variables, the destination variable and the source variable, there is a rule that must be carried out, namely the size of the variable in the destination must be the same as the variable in the source. If the size of the two variables is not the same, it can result in an undefined behavior. If we can look, we can go through the code from the first one. We'll need to declare a struct, and then we will prompt the user to put their username and password, and then we will use string compare to check if the username is correct or the password is correct. If it is correct, then you go to the landing page, login with the message login successful, please continue. But before that, we will copy the variable in the username that the user puts into a new variable called session.uname session.uname underscore session. Now, this variable, the one that we just copied from the uname variable, will be displayed in the welcome page, in the landing page, once you have successfully logged in. I hope you understand everything that I've just said. That is all for the more than two action of a branching.
Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Patwa Tegus Jagung with CLA Assistant Code. I will to explain you about a switch case. Switch case is type of branching that is used for a large number of choice. This switch case is not recommended for an affordable number of branch, but it is highly recommended for choice in the form of content and many, for example, to select a menu. A switch case is an important thing to use in the form who have many and contents in constants, but not recommend. Yeah, but the data is just one or two. That is so not recommend for using this switch case. Switch case this example for make select a menu. We go now to the program for algorithm. In here, in line 1, include std.h, this library. Line 2, integer e, we use e as a variable. Line 3 is a void main, is a menu main, is line 4. Line 5 is a printf, masukkan urutan hari in here. But line 6, scanf, and e this a variable who have a data from here. Line 7 is a switch case, an operation of switch case that line 9 until line 21 is a case from case 1 until case 7. In line 23, we not make a case. This is a default. So the simply is if es 5, then output will appear in case 5. That is Jumat. So if we enter in here as 6, output is sub 2 in case 6. But if we enter in here 10, the output is in a default this. Let's retry it. Yes, in here we have masukkan bulan hari. If we 3 and enter, this is in case 3 is a Rabu. The output is a Rabu. So, but if we enter this not 3, what will he do? We will try it. So is this not the if we enter not 1 until 7, what will he doing? If we enter 10, nah, the output is angka di luar tanari. In default is the output if we enter not 1 until 7. Maybe enough for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.